Let's start making the aquarium for our fish tank. To start this, we are going to open the layers panel. You should see the layers that you've already created, and we're going to create a new layer for the aquarium. So on the right, touch the plus sign, and it says layer 4. The program automatically places the layers on top of the ones you've already created, but we don't want the aquarium on layer, we don't want it above these other layers because it'll cover it. For example, if I go to make the rectangle now, see how it sits on top of everything? We don't want that. So we want to drag this layer down. Let's touch layer 4, press and hold on your trackpad, and pull this down below layer 1. That way we can draw the aquarium underneath everything. And let's close the eyes for these layers that you currently have drawn already. Let's close all of these. Okay, so to draw the aquarium, we are going to start with our rectangle tool, and you are going to check and make sure that the outline, the brushstroke is black, so the one with the square is black, and the one to the left of that is a red diagonal. It should be empty, and the point size can stay 1. And you're going to click and drag to make a rectangle. It should not touch the bottom of your paper or the top or the left or the right. After you have this one, we're going to copy it. So Command C, Command V, so that you have 2. Go to the black arrow and touch either this blue dot or the line of the frame. Now we don't want it to stay exactly the same size. We want it to be a little bit smaller. So go to the white boxes in the corner and start to shrink this down and move it inside of the first box. So I'm going to stretch it out. The space that you're trying to regulate is in between the 2 lines. That will be the frame of our aquarium. Now, to make sure that we remove this inside square or rectangle, let's put a color in here. Anything that's not blue. So let's put yellow in there. Okay, and what we'll do is select both. We will be removing the yellow rectangle. That's just to let us know that it's gone. So I want you to go to the black arrow, start on the corner of your white paper, and you're going to click and drag. You don't have to go all the way through. Just go to the blue dot, and it should select both frames. You have the outside frame, and the inside frame should also be selected. Now what we'll do is go to our shape builder, and we want to remove this inside yellow rectangle. So hold down Option. You should see the little symbol next to the triangle change from plus to minus. And I want you to click on the yellow box. All right, that should have removed it. So now we'll go to the black arrow, go to the outside frame. It has the white dots on it, and we're changing the fill for that to black. Great. So this is the frame of our aquarium. The inside should be empty. The way you can check that is to drag this frame off of the paper onto the gray desktop, and you should see that there's nothing inside of it, which is what we want. Now we are going to add the water, and to do that we're going to stack 3 different blue rectangles. So let's change our color from black here to blue, and we're going to change the outline to no color. Over here in this larger square, I'd like you to double click and have the freedom to pick any type of blue that you'd like. We want a really light blue to begin with. So let's start here. You can pick any blue, like you can go to this section and pick a light blue. It's up to you. Just pick a light blue. I'll start with this. Go to my rectangle tool, and I'm still on layer 4. So I'm going to draw a rectangle that fits the inside frame first. Okay, and I'll do my Command C, Command V. This next one I would like to make a little bit darker, so I'm going to double click here, and I'm pretty much just going to go across the top. So I'm going to pick a slightly darker blue here, go to my selection tool, move this in, leaving some space at the top, but then shrinking the bottom. Okay, and I'll copy it again, Command C, Command V. I want to double click on this square and move my selection more to the right. This will be my last color, and you want this slightly darker than the one before. Move this one up. Notice I'm touching the blue dot to move it. Okay, then I'll shrink it a little, and that's the water. Now we are ready for the rocks. We are going to use the ellipse tool. So go to your rectangle tool, go down to the ellipse, and now let's start picking different types of browns. Double click on this box that has your last blue color, and now go down to the orange area. We're going to be using some light browns and medium browns and dark browns for the pebbles or the rocks or the sand at the bottom of your aquarium. How many rocks you add, how big you want them to be, that will be up to you. I usually make mine about medium size just because I don't want to make a lot of rocks. I just want to make a few to give the illusion of it being a rocky soil. So I'm going to start with this color. I'll go to OK, and I'm on layer 4, and I'm going to click and drag. And I'm just going to make a few, and some of them will need to touch the bottom. It's okay if they touch the frame because eventually we will bring that frame to the front and it will cover the rocks. Try not to go outside of the frame though. If you need to, you can zoom in. All right, let's change our color. Let's do a slightly darker rock. Some of these I am going to send to the back so that it kind of covers the area behind it, but not yet. We're just overlapping. It's okay to have some colors next to each other. All right, let's add our final color. Let's make it slightly darker. And now what I'm trying to do is fill in any of the blue gaps that I see. And notice that my rocks are different sizes, they're not all the same. If you have two that are touching that you don't want to touch, select it with your black triangle. Just kind of move them around. You can also copy and paste, so let's do that. I'll select this one, Command C, Command V, and that will help me speed up this process. Command V, put one there, Command V. This one here, kind of close to the corner. I've got a little blue gap there I want to cover. Put one here, make it smaller. All right, I think all the blue is covered at the bottom. And I like these little two rocks here. I'm just going to copy a couple of these. Okay. So now we are ready to bring the frame forward. So go to your black arrow, select the frame, go to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. And now that covers the bottom of the aquarium, and you are now ready for the plants. Okay, now that we have our aquarium, let's start to add the plants that are going to be in the tank. We want two different types of plants, one with leaves and the other could be just tall seagrass. Let's start with the one with the leaves. To begin, I'm going to go to the rectangle tool and I'll change my color to green, any green for right now. And let's add a new layer. Let's go to plus. And now it's above layer 4. So that's good. We don't want it behind it. We want it above layer 4. And I'm going to click and drag to make a narrow rectangle. And that's kind of blending in with the water. So I'm going to pick a different green. Let's make it this color. I'll tilt it, getting near the corner, tilting it like so. And I am going to go to the shape, I'm not the shape builder, the distort, press letter E as in eagles. And this panel allows us to distort the top of it. I want the top of it a little more pointed. So I'm going to touch the white bubble and just bring it in a little bit at the top. Okay. Now we are going to add some of the leaves. And the leaves are going to be created similar to how you made the body of the fish. We're going to take two overlapping circles. So let's do that out here in the gray section just so that I can drag it in at the point that it's finished. Let's go to our ellipse tool. Let's click and drag. Let's copy, Command C, Command V, overlapping, black selection arrow, clicking over both. And this shows me in the middle how big the leaf is going to be. And that's a little bigger than what I want. So I'm going to move this one over. Okay, that looks good. Now I will go to the shape builder, hold Option, remove this outside, these two outside parts of the circles. And what I'm left with is a leaf shape. Let's copy this multiple times to place it along the stalk of the plant. Command C, Command V. Okay, at this point we are ready to copy this plant. And the advantage to having it on its own layer is that I can select it and not disturb anything behind it. So let's lock the other layers so that I don't accidentally select those things. But everything else is locked. This means that it's not locked if you have a little space there. On my black selection tool, I'm going to click and drag, and now the plant is the only thing selected. Let's group it. Let's go to Object and Group so that we don't lose any of the pieces of the leaves. I'm going to make it a little smaller. But now I can copy and paste it and tilt it and change the color of it so that we have multiple plants in our aquarium. So let's do that. Okay, the second type of plant that we're going to do is simply just a tall piece of grass. Let's take our leaf shape here and use that as a, let's see if we can copy it and make it taller and skinnier. So let's go to stretch it out and make it really thin so that it's just a tall, skinny piece of grass. All right, let's copy this and place it in the aquarium, tilting it in different directions. You may have noticed that I made the plant different colors of green. That adds some variety to the tank. And you also can flip it over here by going horizontally, flip horizontally. Okay, let's place a few of these blades of grass in. Command C, Command V. Okay, this is now the finished aquarium, and we can now start resizing our things and adding finishing touches.